Hey, I want to talk about this real quick. I've been seeing a lot of people making a bunch of excuses when it comes to certain fights that's being made. We all know that there's an A side in every fight. You know, somebody's always gonna have an upper hand. They're gonna have to choose certain things, whether it be the venue, who gets the bigger purse, the gloves, and whatever else, right? But I think what a lot of people fail to acknowledge is that once a contract is signed, all the excuses that you want to make for the fighter that you want to protect or the fighter that loses, that's out the window. That's out the window. It don't matter if it's a catch weight, if it's a rehydration clause, if it's the gloves, if it's the venue, whatever the case, once that opponent signs the contract, that means he agrees to all the terms and he's okay with that. It don't matter if there's PEDs involved, even though over here on this side, y'all know we vada or nada, and we want this, we want to see a fight that is on equal playing field, fair. But we cannot control what goes down in these negotiations. Just like, say, for instance, Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman. That's a good fight to create an example out of, because we know that there was a lot of A-side situation. That was a lot of A-side stipulations in that fight. Manny Pacquiao was able to, dictate who walked out first. Keith was the champion. He made Keith walk out first. He even had Keith talking about he can do whatever he want. And you know why Keith was talking like that? Because of that money. When the price is right, these fighters are willing to accept whatever terms that the A side might dictate if the price is right. And that's why Keith got the flame from the UGC side. And there is no excuses. Once Keith lost that fight, I didn't make no excuse for Keith. I said he was going to get his ass whooped as soon as he started talking about the PEDs and all that, and talking about he can do whatever he want. And that opened up the door for Manny Pacquiao to do whatever he wanted and Keith to do whatever he wanted. So him losing, we can't make no excuses for Keith. If a fighter signs the contract, accepts all the terms, don't matter if it's PEDs, rehydration, catch weight, gloves, venue, walking out first, there ain't no excuses. The fanboys of the fighter that loses, your excuses is null and void. You need to be flaming your fighter for accepting the terms that he lost to. Okay? If the fighter felt like he wasn't confident enough to win with the A-side's terms, whether it be PEDs and everything else I've just listed, he shouldn't have took the fight. I would prefer a fighter that is going to be A-side, but is going to dictate thorough VADA testing and fairness on gloves and so on and so forth. But we already know A-side has always existed, so I don't understand these a lot of these fans coming out and acting like they got such an issue with A-side when this is something that has gone on in the sport for a long period of time, whether we like it or not. And so a lot of these fanboys like to use it as a convenience when they see a fighter that they don't like using the A side, because they built themselves up to that point. But it is up to the opponent to decide whether they want to take the fight and agree to the terms or not. But a lot of these opponents do accept the terms because they're about that money. So shut up with the excuses when your favorite fighter loses to a guy who is A side and he accepts the terms.